Okay, Tales from the Backstep. League Cup final was yesterday. No one really gave a shit. Uh, Congrats to Man City and Nico O'Reilly, I guess. But it does put me in mind of the best day of my entire childhood, which was the 2003 League Cup final. I've always had a soft spot for the League Cup final, and this is why. And I'll tell you this story. So I was about 14, I think, maybe 15, and me and our fella had just fucked off. But me our fella and some of my our fella's mates used to go to match together, and in the divorce, so to speak, I got my our fella's mates, which included two of my our fella's cousins, Al, Mike and Dave, basically like a scout Statler and Waldorf. I've been getting roasted by them two my entire life, and I've never found it not funny. They're just amazing. And then you got my favourite person in all the world at the time, Al Mines, God rest his soul, he's dead now, which makes me dead sad, but you'll see what an amazing guy he is, because he picks me up at like 10 o'clock the night before, and we go to Asda, and we get a bunch of snacks, and he gets a crate of Fosters. That's for me, and bear in mind, too young to be drinking, but he gets some farm whiskey for him and the boys, and he gets some Fosters for me, because I'm on a cup final, we're going to have some fun. And then we get back to it, and as we're walking to it, which is in this little flat above head office 2 on the corner of Queen's Drive and West Derby Road, the amount of nights I've had in that flat. But I'm starting to digress already. We get there straight away, just as we're about to walk in, he goes, my girlfriend Jodie, first ladette I ever met, hot as fuck, Sheffield United fan. Ooh. But that means she's a proper girl who's into proper footy, and that was mind blowing to me. But he's like, I'm about to shag my girlfriend Jodie, you better not wank. And I'll be honest, I was worried already about how I was going to sleep, the night before my first cup final. And then he said that, and I went, oh no, I really don't want to have a bad night hearing him having sex. So I went to sleep immediately. I don't know how I did it, but I did. And then at 4 in the morning, our Mike turns up with our Dave in his fantastic, cool Jag. I can't remember if it's an X or an S type, but it's the cooler of the two, and it's got the cream leather seat, and it's got the proper Jag on the front of it. And me and Al pile into the back with all of our goods, and Mike and Dave are in the front. And bear in mind, it's in Cardiff, so we've been picked up at 4 in the morning, because we are aware that it's us versus Man United in Cardiff, and we're all going to be going from the same place, roughly, to the same place, and the road's going to be chocker, so we're going to have to get you comfortable being stuck in a traffic jam. But as it turns out, we missed the traffic entirely, and ended up rocking up in Cardiff at 8 in the morning, right? And the match doesn't kick off for like 6 hours or whatever, so we've got fuck all to do but wander around and take in the sights and soak it all up or whatever. So I get my first can of the day like 8 in the morning, and then the boys bust out the farm whiskey, and then realise that they've not brought anything to drink it out of. They've managed to find some plastic cups that were in the boot anyway, and they've got nothing to mix it with apart from some warm water. So they're trying to be fancy and drinking their warm water and whiskey in their plastic cups, and I'm drinking a can of Fosters. And bear in mind, I don't look like this when I'm 14. I had a shaved head, I had an Adidas on, but it was an Adidas tracksuit and probably similar trainees to these, to be fair. But I was there like, with my little Adidas trackie and my can of Fosters and my shaved head, walking through the city. I didn't know it was a park in Cardiff. It was beautiful. And as we're coming out to the end of the park, there's this guy, first person we've seen all morning really, walking his dogs. And I still remember this dude. He's still the basis for my Welsh accent impression. But he comes up and he goes, "Are you here for the cup final, are you?" And I was like, "Yeah, mate." Dead excited. Immediately all my scowls gone and my little skin. Yeah, mate, I'm here for the cup final. He's like, "Oh, are you here for Man United or for Liverpool?" And I was like, "I'm here for Liverpool." And he was like, "Well, good luck to you then." Like, proper excited he was for us. I was proper excited. They give me a little spring in my step. We come out into Cardiff by the Millennium Stadium, right? And it's beautiful. It's like a cathedral. Like I was used to the old Anfield as the biggest stadium I've ever seen at the time. I'd sort of been past Wembley once, but it was a while away and I couldn't see it that up close. Cardiff's Millennium Stadium, the Principality Stadium, I think it's called now. up close is a very similar experience to Liverpool's Anglican Cathedral, where you're just so impressed by its size that it makes you feel religious, sort of thing. But we're walking around and there's a guy setting up like the programs. So I took all my pocket money that I'd saved, and as a memento for the day, bought the boys a program to say thank you for taking me. Right? And they were like, "What are you doing, spending your money on us?" And I was like, "Shut up! This is my gift." And to be fair, the programs, even for the cup final back then, were expensive, like £5 a pop. But I didn't care. I'd done something nice for the boys, and that was the main thing, you know. And then we're walking through Cardiff, and there's like people giving out free packs of Nobby's nuts, because that's how long ago it was that they were only just coming out. So I had like loads of them in my pockets, and I was eating them all day, and it was cool as hell. And then I'm walking around the city centre, and I'm noticing it's all Liverpool fans, and I'm like, what's going on? How mad's this? Is this what it's going to be like? Where are the Man United fans? And I didn't know that the police had separated them off, and they were in their own little section of the city somewhere, having a lovely time, hopefully. But I was mad impressed by how many Liverpool fans had taken over Cardiff. It was cool. And in the midst of that takeover, there was an old Carlin advert where like there was a ball and everyone's going woohoo, woohoo, and chasing the ball and heading it back into the crowd. And they're doing that, like the fans are just organically doing that. Someone's brought a ball, they're knocking it up, and everyone's cheering, "Oi, oi!" as it goes in. Like someone puts their head on it, or someone volleys it back into the air, or whatever. And Mike, Dave, and Al are watching them, and Al and Mike fuck off into the buggies, leave me and our Dave outside. And as me and our Dave are sat there watching it, the ball, and I swear to God, this genuinely happened, and one of the coolest things I've ever done. The ball comes flying out the crowd, and I'm like, oh, it's coming towards me. I'll head it back in, everyone will cheer. So it starts, I'm 15, I'm basically this height even then, which is tiny, and I went to head it, but the ball was going to go over my head. So I thought, fuck it, I'll miss this, and our Dave will laugh at me, but I'll try and scorpion kick it. So I threw my foot back, expecting to miss, only I didn't miss. Only I could fuck up fucking up. Like, I caught this ball perfectly, it goes flying straight as an arrow, straight back up over my head and back into the crowd. And I, being the cocky little shit that I was at 15, try and style it out, but I did like full Mbappe before Mbappe, and I don't think I did that exactly, but I tried to make it like Henri, then tried to make it look as cooler than I was, and I just leant on the wall next to our Dave, like I didn't say a word. And our Dave looks at us and went, "If you tried that 100 more times, how many times do you reckon you get it?" And I went, "Ah!" And the pair of us burst out laughing, and it was beautiful, man. It was cool. And then I'll come back out the bookies, and they tell us that they've all chipped in like 20 quid each on a bet just for Liverpool to win. Because if we lose, we're all going to be gutted anyway. So if we win, we might as well get rich. But they decided that they were going to take a £5 each. The money I'd spent on the programme, so put it all on that same bet, right? And I was like, all right, sound, nice one, that's really kind of you, because I'm not old enough to gamble. So we goes into the ground, and it's amazing in there, and it's loud, and Liverpool have took up 3/4 of the stadium, man. Like, Liverpool fans, yes. Like, I'm not into footy anymore just because of the money involved, like 500 billion, and I still have to walk past the same homeless people every day. That's horrible. It's a horrible vulgarity of wealth there. Which means I can't fuck with it anymore. But back in 2003 at the League Cup final in Cardiff's Millennium Stadium, in all that noise, I've never been more excited. And we're taking pictures, and I'm looking at the Man United team as well. There's stars everywhere. They're better than us. They just are, like 1 to 11, every single player, probably apart from Gerrard and Owen. Like, not one of our players would have got into their team at that time, and it didn't matter because we had a tactical game plan, and we put it on them and all, and Gerrard scores. So I can't even remember the game anymore, to be honest. I'll level with you. Gerrard, the only reason I know Gerrard scores is because I'll put a bet on. While we were all putting the collective bets on, he puts another one on just on Gerrard and 2-0. And Gerrard scores first, and it's 2-0, and it's the 88th minute. There's the one thing I remember about the whole game, because as soon as I found out that was it, I just wanted the game end to end so he'd win all the money. But then Vladimir Smicer, and I've always loved Smicer, clean through 88 minutes, everyone on the ground screaming, "Mate, score, go on but I bury it. And all of us four like, miss, and he misses, and we're all celebrating. And someone's like, what are you doing, you knobhead? And I was like, you're a knobhead, he's got money on Gerrard and 2-0. And then everyone around us in the crowd's like, yes, come on then, the boys. Everyone's on board with it. And then it's like the 90th minute. And I know it's going to happen anyway, because I've been to matches since I was 18 months old. You'll Never Walk Alone is coming, but we're 2-0 up and it's a cup final. And I'll figure, fuck it, I'm getting ahead of it. And then I can tell everyone that I started it, which is exactly what happens. I stand up, I unfurl the flag that I've had wrapped around me all day because they wouldn't let me take the pole in, because that's a weapon apparently. But the flag itself out, and then I'm singing You Never Walk Alone, and then the whole ground course, apart from my United end, starts singing You Never Walk Alone. It's one of the coolest moments of my whole life. And then some fella behind me tries to ruin it. He's like, hey, no, man, sit down, I can't see. And we're all laughing at him, it was fine. It was genuinely like one of the happiest moments of my life. Al tells us that all of our tickets are paid for, and we get back in the cool ass Jag, and now we are stuck in the traffic jam with all the Man United fans or whatever trying to get back to Liverpool. But for the first time in my life in that traffic jam, I heard the song Stop Crying Your Heart Out by Oasis, Man City fans. So I felt like I had extra license to love that song, and then pick up the words real quick and start singing them with the Man United fan looking real miserable in the car next to us. And then we're driving, we managed to, instead of going like the main way, we go the windy windy back streets of Wales to get home. Mike's driving, can in hand, fucking mad bastard. And I fall asleep at some point, but I wake up just as we're getting back into Liverpool. And the last cool thing about the day, I guess, is for the first time in my life, I heard the song "Creep" by Radiohead on the coach on the drive home. It's cool as hell. It's one of the best days of my life. And Alan Mines no longer here with us anymore. I fucking love you, man.